to Sarah, who's doing this in front of her daughter.
So it's not actually my first kiss, it's my first French kiss. Okay. Right, so this is 16th of May 1984. Okay. And it was a series of diaries that I had a normal diary that was dated and everything, but then I had another one, a kind of extension called My Life Right Now. Because, like now that's what I call music. My Life Right Now, and this is part 22. So, here we go. Hello, I'm depressed. My life is shit right now. I really mean it. I still like Mike Case a lot, but about a month ago I met another Mike Conn, through Tammy. Since then I've liked him, until yesterday. What actually happened was this. : I phoned him up on Monday night and we arranged to meet each other at 4:30 at Le Chateau in Town and Country. I was living in Toronto at the time.
Yeah!
Yay! And I was even brave and told him I was madly in love with him. So I'm 14. Well, on Tuesday I went to Town and Country and waited outside Le Chateau until he came. I bought a 16 magazine with Duran Duran in it. I mean, why else would I buy it? We then met and walked around the mall for a while, and he said, hold on. He said, if he saw any of his friends, he'd say I was his ex-girlfriend because he has a reputation at school. Well, that should have given me some alarm bells. Okay. Well, then we went downstairs to the washrooms, and when I came out, he looked into this tunnel with all these lockers in it, and we went down the tunnel, and in a space between two doors, we talked for a while, and he wrote Sarah plus Mike on the wall. And then he started unbuttoning my shirt. 14. So I said, Mike, I may not be chicken with words, but I'm chicken with other things. He said, what other things? Or should I ask? I get a bit shy and I go, don't bother. Then he says, these things? And kisses the back of my neck. Put your fingers in your ears. Then I started to get the tingle.
This is good. Yeah.
And then he kissed me with a slip of the tongue, and it was the first time I've ever Frenched before. I was shaking so much. I was so scared I nearly cried. Exactly, I replied. Things like this. With a tongue down my throat, I suppose I couldn't really say. Then he said, don't worry, you'll learn. And we Frenched again. Then he said, you're all tongue. And I tried to laugh, but I couldn't. It was impossible. I was so scared. Anyway, then Mike said, do you want to go back up now? Yeah, sure, I replied, trying not to sound too enthusiastic. Then he put his arm around me and we walked to Action Sports. He kept saying, you hate me now, don't you? But I kept reassuring him that I didn't. Where did we learn this from?
Milton Boone.
Must have been. Okay. We then went to Sam's record shop. I was quiet all this time. He asked the cashier what time it was. It was 6:45. Then I made this excuse that Mum would have a bird if I didn't get home. So he walked to the entrance next to Kitty Cobbler, and he kissed me goodbye and said he'd phone. I ran out of the doors and started crying. I couldn't think straight. I started thinking things like, I should become a hooker. And he's ruined my whole life. And I want Sylvia, who was my best friend, who was on holiday. I miss her so much, it's unbearable. She's in Nova Scotia right now. Anyway, I cried all the way home and said, I hate him, I hate him, I hate him. Then when I got in, I phoned Tammy and spilled my guts. She was so helpful and understanding and said, okay, so this is all that she said, and she's 14 as well, okay? She was helpful and understanding and said, it was a pretty irresponsible, immature, ridiculous, stupid thing for him to do the first time we met. And she really helped me so much. I love her. Anyway, then I phoned Karen and I told her. Sherry, and then I went to bed. He didn't phone me, and I was pretty sick of him anyway, so it didn't matter. I couldn't sleep from thinking about it. In the morning, I woke up feeling so depressed and went to school even more so. But Tammy, Karen, Sherry, and Mike Case helped me through the day. Why Mike Case? You ask. Well, I felt so guilty seeing him today and thinking of what I'd done that I regretted every minute of it. I've fallen in love with Mike Case again. I guess I need someone secure to hold on to after last night. So maybe he's stupid. He was in a remedial class. Maybe he's not really gorgeous or has an amazing personality, but he has the bod. And the hardest part of love is letting go, they say, which is true. I still like him and have done ever since September, and I really can't get over him. Mike Case is the complete opposite to Mike Con. He is shy and chicken, but strong. Whilst Mike Con is a love and leave, fucking forget kind of person. Mike Case has taken a month and still counting to ask me out. And Mike Con Frenched me the first time I saw him. I guess I still love Mike Case. I probably always will. I can't seem to get him out of my system. Really underlined, this is really underlined, I still love Duran Duran. I always will. It's obsession now. I have 69 pictures up on my wall. I buy anything that's worth buying of them and cut out the pictures and stick them up and put the articles in my Duran Duran drawer. I have 75 buttons and the sign on my door says, Sarah shares this room with Duran Duran. I love Duran Duran so much, I can't help it. My best friends right now are, so first of all, who's first? Duran Duran. Duran Duran are my best friends. Then me, then I'm my best friend. Then Callie. Callie's my cat. Ruth, Tammy, Sylvia, Karen, Christy. There's some arrows here where I've moved the Sherry and Dawn. They've moved around a bit from a few months ago, and also, randomly, I've decided to be a fashion designer and have one kid. If it's a girl, I'll keep it as one. But if it's a boy, I'll have more. I had a girl. I love Duran Duran. I love Mike Case. I love me. I love God first. I love the family. I love Ruth. I love Callie. I love Tammy. I love Sylvia. I love Karen. I love Christy. I love Sherry. I love Dawn. And everyone else in the world. I hate the devil and Motley Crue. And my favourite colours are black, yellow, red, white, purple and turquoise. I must go now. Thanks so much for listening. All my love, gorgeous. some really awful poems about boys. So I'm gonna just treat you to a couple. So this one, there was a boy that I liked called Todd, and he was this hockey kid, and just barely said anything, never said a word ever to me, but I imagined this big, huge relationship that we had. Anyway, he moved to a place called Lawrence and Young, so it's just an intersection, an area of Toronto. So I wrote a poem about him. He moved away, and on the last night he was here, he kissed me, and I gave him the poem, and he kissed me again. And then he went home, and so did I, and I haven't seen him since. I don't like him anymore, though, but here's the poem. Okay? Now, I've called it... Oh, just so pretentious. Right, okay. So, I've called it Lawrence, okay, but I've spelt it Laoren''S. Because it's Lawrence, because he's moved to Lawrence. Okay, so if you know it's wrong when you leave to fade into destiny, why do you leave? To break my mind for only a second. I realise I will fade away. There is no eternal flame to light my soul on the way to the path of courageousness. A broken heart is my only resolution to find affection from you. Okay, I've got one more poem. This one is a few years later. This is about a boy that I had known when I was 7, and I liked him when I was 7. I told him when I was 7, I said, "Mark, I like you," and he stood there at 7 and went, I don't need this. I should have just never tried it again. At 7. A few years later, I met him again, and we started being friends, and then I fancied him again, obviously, because he was a boy. This one is called, I'm 16 by this point, so it's called It'll Take Time. Listening to Roxy, your influence, of course. More than this. You know there's nothing more than this. Slave to love. You're killing me, you know. You should have got off with Candy. You should have. I mean it. You say, I'm being cold. Wouldn't you be? I'm sorry, but I love you. Do you love me? No. It'll take time. I won't bear a grudge. Not forever. I couldn't do that to you. You need your security, but I wish you knew I need it too. More than you. I'll love you from the womb to the tomb. Just remember one thing, please. If you don't want me to hate you, then don't ever touch me again. I want you to.